Hello everyone, and welcome to Ask a Specialist. Today is Wednesday, and this is where you have the opportunity to ask me a little bit more about ketones, Keto OS, and what Prove It can do for you. So I'm trying to adjust my light here just a second, see if that helps a little bit. So give me just a second here while other people are getting on. I'm gonna move a little bit out of the window, sorry about this. And know that while I'm trying to get my lighting set up, that you can actually share this with other friends. You can let them know that we're having our Ask a Specialist. So if they have questions, they can pop on right now and I will do my best to get their questions answered. My name is Dr. Heather Carden, and I am the co-owner of Carden Center for Wellness in Overland Park, Kansas. I have been a practitioner for almost 20 years. I have practiced a low-carb, high-fat diet and taught the ketogenic diet over the last 15 years of my practice as adjunctive therapy tool. So in certain health conditions, I would teach the ketogenic diet. So you can imagine how excited I was when I heard that we had pure therapeutic exogenous ketones. That's right, no more starving yourself, no more living a low-carb lifestyle, sometimes even where it gets really almost confining, where you can have so little carbs that maybe you aren't even engaging with other people because you want the benefits of ketones, but know that the diet's super hard. So let's talk a little bit about what ketones are. Ketones are simply a byproduct of fat metabolism. Our body actually has two fuel sources. It can run on glucose, and that's mainly what most Americans are running on. When we have carbohydrates and proteins, whether they're good or bad, our body uses insulin and breaks them down into glucose for fuel. We also have another fuel that our body knows very well called ketones. It's a byproduct of fatty acid metabolism, and our body's been in and out of ketosis our whole entire life, and maybe you didn't even know it. Certainly as babies we're in ketosis, maybe at night while you're sleeping you've been in ketosis. If you've ever fasted for a couple days, or maybe before a surgery they had you not eat anything the day before and the day after, your body could have actually been producing ketones. We also know that a lot of elite athletes use up their glucose storage, and they actually burn and perform on ketones. And you're going to find a lot of information telling us how great ketones are for you. So ketones are a byproduct of fat metabolism. Ketosis just means we're in a state where our body's burning fat for fuel. And there's 2 or 3 different ways to measure that. Most people actually use a urine stick, and they can just buy them at their local pharmacy. You can pick them up and you test your urine. If your body's in ketosis, the urine stick will change a color. Other people prefer the blood mechanism, where you actually prick your finger and it gives you just a millimole reading of ketosis, or how many ketones your body has in them. It is a much more exact way of measuring that, but honestly, since exogenous ketones have come out and everybody can use them, I just really encourage people to go by how they feel. Don't worry about the stick turning colors, because stress can take you out of ketosis and the blood meter can be expensive. But if you do have a certain healthcare concern that you're using the ketogenic diet and exogenous ketones for, then you may be the person that wants to test your ketones. So let's just dive in here a little bit deeper. What is pure exogenous ketones and what can it do for me? So ketones have amazing benefits. First of all, they are neuroprotective. They actually help us sleep better. They give us better moods. They give us better energy. And we're going to go into each of those with just a little bit more detail. They actually help us lose fat. And we'll talk about that also. They also give us better sleep. They can help with movement disorders. I don't know if anybody was on the call last night and heard Dr. Mary Newport talking about the benefits of ketones and how excited she is about that. And she talked about how ketones can help with depression, can help with any type of mental health disorder, because ketones are signalers for our brain. They also do amazing things inside our cell. They actually feed the energy source. So we have a thing called the mitochondria inside our cell, or every cell of our body head to toe. And ketones actually fuel the mitochondria, which gives us better energy. That's why people feel like when they get done working throughout the day, they have a lot more energy. They can come home and interact with their family or friends, do more daily activities, maybe get to the gym a first or second time. So let's just start here on the questions and see how we can help you better understand how ketones and Keto OS can help you and your family. And I do want to say welcome to everyone and hello. And thank you for being here today. I love that Prove It really focuses on education. They have me here every Wednesday to help you find out better how you can better optimize your health and really help you along your state of health journey. And I think today is one of the most important days I can be here. Thanksgiving was last week for most of Americans, and we heard a lot about how ketones can help you reduce your appetite, give you more energy through the holidays. And being a healthcare practitioner for almost 20 years, I know that people will fall off their healthy eating plan at Thanksgiving Thanksgiving, and it will continue until January or until Valentine's Day. This is a great time to get Keto OS or ketones into your body. Give your body more energy, help with better sleep, help with better moods, and reduce those cravings. I know there's a lot of temptations we're going to be coming along. Again, most people fall off the wagon and say, well, I've already blown my diet. What's one more day? What's one more week? It doesn't have to be that way. You can feel good through the whole holidays. You don't have to focus on food. You can use ketones to control that and control your energy and your sleep and help you not be one of the average people who gains 8 to 12 pounds over the holidays. So let's just start asking questions here. Why do ketones help with sleep? Ketones actually are signalers for our brain. They can actually dampen the excitatory neurons, and neurons are little cells found in our brain, so it can calm our brain down much faster. That's why people experience better sleep, and they experience better focus and less brain fog. So Kay says, what effect does Keto OS have on the kidneys? Kay, I love this question. We're talking about exogenous ketones. That means we simply take them, a white powder form, shake it up, and drink it. With exogenous ketones, there are water soluble, which means we simply drink them. They get into our bloodstream, and our body can actually excrete those out to the kidneys. When you're on a true ketogenic diet and your body's making endogenous ketones, that happens in the liver, then our kidneys do have to do a little bit more work with that. But with exogenous ketones, they're simply water soluble. Your body excretes out what it doesn't need. Somebody asked about workout. So that's really a little more of an independent or a personal preference when you want to use your ketones. I know we recommend starting about 30 minutes before your workout, so your body's really burning the heaviest or spiking the most, burning those ketones. So I would suggest with your workout, start 30 minutes before your workout. If you're an extreme athlete and you're working out more than 2.5 hours a day, then I would actually recommend another serving of ketones about 2.5 hours after your workout, because ketones will stop the breakdown of muscle. Ketones will also inhibit inflammation. So they're a great thing to use pre and post workout. The 3.0 and Max also have additional amino acids to help protect your body and get your optimal workouts. So Jenna's asking about some with Keto OS and psoriasis. So psoriasis has many different causes. It can be, and I probably won't go into those, but they can be for many different causes. But if you look at psoriasis as being an inflammation process, we know that ketones help inflammation. Then we've seen many testimonies that ketones actually reduce inflammation. We know that sugar and yeast can also feed psoriasis. We know that coconut oil, so what the coconut you find in the keto cream, can be very helpful for someone with psoriasis because it has the C8, the C10, and C12, which is caprylic acid and lauric acid, which are antiviral and antimicrobial, plus the Keto OS or the Max has the great ketone bodies to help reduce inflammation. And Lori's asking about lupus. So Lori, thanks for asking that question. Lori, I'm going to make your question a little bit bigger. Lupus is an autoimmune disease. So think of Keto OS as a fuel source with amazing benefits. So if you have lupus or rheumatoid arthritis or eosinophilic esophagitis or dermatomyositis or any of those autoimmune disease, know that Keto OS can reduce inflammation. That's really one of the main causes that cause a lot of the symptoms of these autoimmune diseases. So Keto OS will decrease the inflammation. It will give your body better energy to help your body's immune system boost up. And again, the keto cream is a great thing to have with any autoimmune issue because of the C8, which is caprylic acid, and the C10, which is lauric acid or monolaurin, antiviral, antibacterial, and antiparasitic. So it's a great time to use this time of year, and know that the keto cream doesn't have any ketone bodies in it, but your body can use all the amazing ingredients of the keto cream and break it down into ketone bodies. So Jenna's asking about IBS and colitis. So again, there's lots of different causes of colitis or irritable bowel syndrome. Generally what I've found in the last 20 years is people are eating non-food items and they're getting stuck in the gut, and when the gut gets irritated enough, it flushes them out. So if we can decrease the inflammation in our gut should actually perform much better. And know that the major function of our large intestine is to prepare for evacuation, and also it reabsorbs water. If we know that ketones provide 38% more oxygen, so that's an oxygen. We know that our large intestine requires a lot of oxygen to get things ready. It can absolutely help with that. The 3.0 also has butyric acid and a prebiotic in it. Sorry, I thought I had it here. So it has inulin or chicory root, which we have used since the day we opened up our practice to help turn on the healthy gut bug. So Keto OS 3.0 is a great source of a tool for someone to use who has any type of colitis or irritation in the gut, because those prebiotics turn on our healthy gut bugs to get our gut forming much better. Sonia asks, what about people with coconut allergies? Sonia, I love you asked that question. So only 2.1 has coconut in it. It has the MCT. So the MCT is palm kernel oil and coconut oil. The 3.0 and Max don't have any MCT, so they don't have any coconut in it. Know that all the products are gluten-free. The only products that have dairy are the 2.0 and the Keto cream. The MCT, we use a little bit of dairy, which is 1.5 grams, which is just low-fat cow's milk, to plate the MCT oil to the ketone body. That's why the 2.1 has more fat, because of the MCT. When you look at the macros on the back, that's because it has B12 and iodine, which are just naturally occurring in the dairy. I get a lot of questions on Ask a Specialist of what type of B12 it is. It's just really what's naturally occurring in the dairy that you find in the 2.1 and in the Keto cream. But the 3.0 and Max don't have any dairy in it. And the Max is actually certified vegan free. So if you're a person who's trying to keep that out, then you know that Max and 3.0 are the great alternatives for you. And yes, Rick, you can add extra MCT oil to Max or to the 3.0. Use a flavor that you love and add those extra healthy fats in there. You absolutely can do it. So Kyle's asking about kidney stones. Kyle, if you go to proveitnow.com and go all the way down to Help Center, and when you click that open, it's going to it's going to open up 4 big boxes. The second one says health. If you click on that, there's about 19 different facts about Keto OS and our health. It will tell you why it's safe for our liver. It'll tell you why it's safe for our kidney and our kidney stones, because we're talking about exogenous ketones, not endogenous, where our body has to make it. It tells us that Keto OS is safe, or exogenous ketones are safe for pregnant women. They're safe for babies, for type 1, type 2 diabetics. So all that wonderful information's there with supporting clinical data. So make sure you check there first for those questions. So Brock is asking if someone's recovering from a stroke and has high blood pressure and inflammation. So that went pretty quick there. Know that we're not making any medical claims about Keto OS. I am here to help you understand about the nutritional support in the product of Keto OS. But we know that ketones, specifically beta-hydroxybutyrate, which is actually in Keto OS, our body actually manufactures 3 different types of ketones bodies, but beta-hydroxybutyrate is the most abundant one, and it is the one that we've published the most amount of papers on. So if you Google BHB and inflammation, or beta-hydroxybutyrate and inflammation, or ketone bodies and inflammation, you're going to find supporting clinical data about the use of exogenous ketones and how specifically beta-hydroxybutyrate inhibits an inflammatory process called NLRP3 inflammasome. But know that it decreases inflammation. Inflammation can be internal inside your joints. It can be acute from a strained sprain. It can be from a concussion. It can be inflammation in an autoimmune disease. So just really make sure that you keep it really simple. Inflammation just means our body's having some type of reaction. Again, it can be anywhere from head to toe, but ketones stop that inflammatory process, specifically beta-hydroxybutyrate. George is asking about 3.0 or Max. You know what? I get this question, which one's the best for me? I always say that the 3.0 is great for anyone with any digestive issues because of the inulin or chicory root in there. I'm also a chocolate lover and I love the additional amino acids. Max is the most palatable one. I think it's our #1 flavor of choice right now. And for someone who's more fat adapted, they actually like the 2.1. It's got a little bit different mixture of the salts. It's got the higher MCT oil. So really, again, I like to have people just sample it, see what they like, see what tastes best to them, and then again just work up slowly from there. So Max is our newest formula, so we've really worked hard to get our versions very palatable, make sure that they get you into ketosis in less than 59 seconds and keep you in ketosis anywhere from 2 to 6 hours. So I would say go with the flavor first, but many people love the Max. So Mike is asking about thyroid issues. So just let you know, if I happen to miss your question today, please send it into support@proveithq.com. Myself, along with Dr. Andrew Campitelli, are your Ask a Specialist. And know that if we didn't get an answer today and you can't find it in the Help Center, know that you can send that question in. But also, go to the Prove It Facebook page, which you're on right now. Up at the top, there's a little search bar. And if there's something in particular, like I saw someone just ask about PTSD or depression or psoriasis, simply just put the word in there in the search bar are, and you're going to see real people's testimony. We call that anecdotal evidence, but know that those are real people with real experiences having that on there. So go there. You're going to, whatever you put in there, if you put in fat loss, if you put in hypertension, if you put in depression, you're going to hear amazing people from all over the country and now globally sharing their experiences with Keto OS and ketones. So I'm going to answer depression, I'm going to answer neurological and anxiety issues because they're all the same. Our brains are 60% fat. Keto OS and Keto Max is a byproduct of fatty acid metabolism. So when our body uses fat or eats fat, we break it down, our body makes ketones. Again, our brains are 60% fat, and our brain dictates our nervous system, which tells our entire body what we're going to do every single day and every minute of the day. So if we can do healthy signaling to our brain, everything comes to what's called a homeostasis level, where it should be. We're awake during the awake hours, not falling asleep during the daytime, and we sleep during the nighttime hours, not being awake at night. So whether it's depression, whether it's sleep, whether it's insomnia, whether it's intermittent waking up, maybe drowsiness during the day, know that Keto OS supplies ketone bodies, which help our body fuel from a cellular level. How does it help with anxiety? It dampens the excitatory neurons. How does it help with energy? It gives more energy to the cell at a cellular level, which is really healthy for our bodies. And someone asked about thyroid and parathyroid. So we're going to get right there. Tammy, yes, safe for pregnancy. I'm going to answer a little bit quicker here. Yes, safe for pregnancy, safe for newborns. We know that mothers actually are in ketosis, in and out of ketosis while they're pregnant. We also know that mothers during labor and delivery will go into ketosis. Babies are in ketosis at about the 20th week, really until they start getting mother's milk. We know that mother's milk can have ketone bodies in it or a higher level of MCT. So again, it's a native state our body's been burning in and out of ketosis our whole entire life. We've been fueling with the standard American diet. But for the first time ever, we can actually use what's called a dual fuel source. We don't have to go on a really stringent, low carb, high fat diet. We can actually just drink Keto OS and get all the benefits of ketones in our body, whether it's PTSD or depression, it's neuroprotective, reduces inflammation, all those great things. It's simply a supplement, which means you're adding it into your normal diet. So you don't have to be on a ketogenic diet. You don't have to be on a low carb diet. You can be on a paleo diet, a grain-free diet, a standard American diet, whatever works for you. Know that we can include those in there. We do, however, endorse a native 8 style of living, which is eating healthy whole foods. But let's talk about thyroid, because I've gotten that 5 times now. So again, MCT or Keto OS is energy for our body. That's what ketones do, specifically beta hydroxybutyrate. It delivers 3 more ATP when we look at the fatty acid cycle. It also delivers more oxygen. Our thyroid is right here. It's a little gland that sits right here. It is actually the ignition for our body. So it actually turns our body on. And we also have a secondary or a sister organ called the adrenal glands, which are right atop of our kidneys. They help make things like hormones, epinephrine, norepinephrine, adrenals. Some of our sex hormones are also manufactured there or released from our adrenal glands, but the adrenal glands are our engine. So thyroid's the ignition and our adrenal glands keep us running throughout the day. So if you're a person who can't turn off at night, or you're turning off in the daytime when you should be awake during the daytime, know that when we can give a healthy fuel source to our body, our ignition, which is our thyroid, is going to turn on much better. And our engine, which is our adrenal glands, is going to run much better. If you're a person who wants more information about the adrenal glands, again, it's written in the Help Center. It's called the HPA axis, which is our hypothalamus pituitary axis. You don't need to know those fancy words. Just know that this is an amazing source of energy you can put into your body. You can receive that energy and feel it within 20 minutes. It is water soluble, so it's safe for our kidneys. It's safe for our liver. If you don't have a gallbladder, it's totally fine because we don't need the gallbladder in this. We just need to drink it with a bunch of water, and then our body will use what it needs to use, and it will excrete what it doesn't need to use. Crystal, love the question about diabetes. So why are we saying that it's healthy for diabetics to use this? Type 1, type 2, or type 3. What happens is when we have exogenous ketones, and Dr. Veach has written this, we have the clinical data or the article right inside the Help Center. When we use exogenous ketones on any type of diet, it actually decreases how much insulin is spiked, and so then ultimately we use less insulin. We use less glucose. So if we're using exogenous ketones and eating carbohydrates, our body will release less insulin, which means we'll use less glucose. So that's a win-win situation. So even if you don't change your diet, we've actually got some studies showing about brown fat studies showing us that when we use exogenous ketones, is which Keto OSs and Biomaxes, our body actually dampens the release of insulin. So less insulin's released are needed, ultimately less glucose. Remember, insulin's major job is to deposit fat. We developed it way back in the 1940s for failure to thrive babies. So it's a good thing not to have a whole bunch of insulin release. It's a good thing not to have a whole bunch of glucose release. That's how we lead to type 1 and type 2 diabetes. So if we can take the stress off of that, have our body use the ketone body for energy, it's a win-win situation for every single cell in our body. Sorry, looking for another question here. Kathy, with or without food? Great question. Someone who's more fat adapted and who's been using a higher fat diet, low carb diet, may be able to tolerate the full serving of Keto OS right from the get-go. But if you're a person who's had a lot of stomach issues your life, not just for a day or two, but for weeks, decades, or a couple of decades, and you're the person who's been eating, over-the-counter antacids, or you're on prescription medications for it, then know that I do recommend that you use Keto OS with food. When you're drinking the Keto OS with food, you actually slow down the absorption time. And always start with a reduced serving. So my thing is, I like it on an empty stomach. I like to have Keto OS mid-morning, about 9 to 11. I like to have it about 1 to 4 because it stops my energy crash. I like to drink it before I feel that fatigue time's coming on. But if you're a person who's have a very, very sensitive gut, or you've had a history of gut issues, I would suggest that you start using a reduced serving of Keto OS. Do not worry about the stick turning pink. Do not worry about the blood glucose meter. I would worry about how you feel taking the Keto OS and make sure your gut's ready for the healthy fats. Half a serving with a little bit of food, whether a fat or protein. And again, and once you feel better, then start increasing your serving size as your body lets you do it. Focus on what your body tells you. So if you're getting constipation, diarrhea, excess gas, know that your body's not ready for all that yet. So just reduce your serving and have it with a little bit of food. So Alonzo's asking, is a low carb diet really recommended? So professionally, Alonzo, in my own practice, I have supported a low carb, high fat diet since we opened up our doors. But for most of Americans, you don't have to be on a low carb diet. You can be on any diet at all. You can eat cheesecake or donuts or turkey or stuffing or whatever it is you just had this weekend, and you can use Keto OS to get all the neuroprotective benefits from it. Maybe you're a person who's experienced a reduction of migraines with Keto OS and you haven't even changed your diet. So that's a great question. You can have with any diet that you want, but as a healthcare professional, I always recommend eating whole foods, eating plenty of healthy plant fats, but do what works for you. I saw a question about hormones. Keto OS does not have any hormones in it. This is, again, a very popular question because we see men and women having some hormonal changes, whether they're having an increase of growth hair, which is a great thing as we age, or maybe increase in libido, or some changes in our women's menstrual cycles, or maybe you have increased energy or muscle mass. If you're a male using ketones, the first thing is that ketones are muscle sparing. So you actually can find a rise in testosterone if you're overworking out, overstressing your body. We know that if you're overeating improperly, that your body will actually burn your lean muscle mass. Ketones are muscle sparing. So how am I getting back to the hormone question, or loop back around, is that when we can preserve our muscle mass, things like testosterone are much happier. But also know that everything, we talked about the adrenal glands help release sex hormones. We also know that our brain actually helps release a lot of releasing hormones from gonadotropin. I won't go into those. We have about 12 releasing hormones released from our pituitary. Ketones are signalers. So if we're feeding our body healthy energy, we're not overstressing our body, we're having those signalers turn on, then we are going to get a more balanced hormone cycle within our body, whether you're male or female. So enjoy the changes that you're getting from Keto OS. Know that it's getting your body to a healthier, more optimal state. And you may have some changes in your cycle. You may have some changes with growth pattern hair, maybe some increase of testosterone or better muscle mass. Those are all great things to happen. Felicia says, how many times a day can you use Keto OS? We recommend 1 serving as therapeutic and 2 as optimal performance. But I know many biohackers out there, and send me some hearts if you're a biohacker out there, they're actually going to use Keto OS during a fasting state or for a little more intermittent fasting. They'll use 2 to 3 to 4 servings. And know that it's totally safe to have excess exogenous ketones in your body. They are all water soluble, and your body simply excretes out what you don't need. So it's absolutely fine for that. Hey, thanks, Pam, for the time warning there. So post-surgical benefits, saw someone ask about fibromyalgia. Know that ketones reduce inflammation. I know that I had a surgery last December and I used ketones really heavily before, which means I was using more than the recommended doses, maybe 3 servings a day. And post-surgery on myself, I absolutely use the ketone bodies to help reduce inflammation post-surgery. You can also use it for inflammation for strains and sprains or chronic arthritis inflammation. Know that ketones reduce inflammation head to toe. It doesn't care if it's acute or chronic, whether it's from fibromyalgia or from, again, acute strain or sprain. Know that ketones reduce inflammation. I'm going to take one more question here, and then I'm just going to run through like I always do. So get your paper and pen out because I'm going to go through all of the 4 amazing products, and then and so you have a better, clear understanding of how you can use Keto OS and Keto Cream in your diet. Gail says, how long should you last in ketosis? Well, if you're already fat adapted, you're gonna find a higher level of ketone bodies, anywhere from 2 to 6+ hours. A lot of things can determine how long our bodies hold on to things like water or B vitamins or proteins or carbohydrates or exogenous ketones. So you can expect 99% of the time from 1 single serving of Keto OS to maintain ketosis anywhere from 2 to 6 hours. Exercise varies that, stress varies that, pharmaceuticals vary that, gender, age, exercise, water, a lot of different things can really determine how long your body's in ketosis. But what I generally recommend is start with a half a serving or full serving. See how long your body is in ketosis, and you can check it with urine, or when you start to feel your body just crashing, like you're getting super tired, that's the time to drink those ketones, because within 20 minutes your body's going to get that energy back from the exogenous ketones. Yeah, Janet's saying she drinks 3+ servings a day. Now, the company does recommend 1 serving as therapeutic dose, 2 is optimal performance. And I'm going to ask here, so I want to welcome everyone who's new. We know that the Prove It community is growing over 30% every month. So give me a number 1 if you are new to our Ask a Specialist on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. Give me a 2 if you're not new and you follow and watch me and I've been able to help you answer your questions. And then answer 3 if you've never used Keto OS before and you're just new, just checking things out, hanging out on Facebook and say, what are my friends talking about? Well, we were talking about ketones, a superior energy source for your body. So again, welcome everybody who's new in the US, in the UK, in Australia, and in Canada. I saw the question here a couple times about epilepsy. Again, knowing we're not making any medical claims, we're simply sharing the benefits of what ketone bodies can do for your body. We've studied ketones for over 100 years. We've studied exogenous ketones for the last 2 to 3 decades, so it's not a new conversation to the clinical world, but it is a new conversation to others of us out here. So we know that the ketogenic diet was studied a long time ago, about the 1940s, to really help childhood epilepsy. So I've had the opportunity to speak with many people who suffer from epilepsy, and they found that Keto OS helps get them into a ketogenic diet if their doctor has recommended that. It's also helped them maintain a higher level of ketone bodies if their doctor has recommended ketogenic diet for epilepsy. If you want to send me that question at support@proveithq.com, I will send you some clinical information. I forgot whose name did that. I'll send you some clinical data that we've used exogenous ketones in the use with epilepsy that is peer-reviewed clinical data. So I'll be happy to send that to you. But know that what ketones do is just raise your body to a higher level of ketosis if you're already there. If you've never been in ketosis, you're just a carbitarian and you love your carbs and breads, but you want to feel amazing, Keto OS can absolutely do that for you too. So thank you for answering. 1 if you're new, 2 if you're a frequent follower, and then 3 if you've never tried it. So I'm going to go through the products. So hopefully you have your pen and paper out there, and I have the samples that I need here. I don't know why I hold these up, they never show, but 2.1, here we go. Yeah, I'm sorry. 2.1 is MCT plus beta-hydroxybutyrate. MCT is a medium chain triglyceride. It's an amazing source of energy. So after your body processes the ketone body, your body can further break down the MCT and get energy and inflammation from that. So it is an orange dreamsicle flavor. Many people love, love, love this. So if orange is your favorite, give us a 5 if orange is your favorite. Now, somebody give me a number 6, because 6 if chocolate is your favorite. Our 3.0 is our chocolate. It doesn't have MCT oil, so it's much better tolerated if you're having a problem tolerating the MCT in the 2.1, or you want to monitor your level of MCT oil. 3.0 is a great option for you. It has butyric acid in it, so that's why there's a lower fat and a lower calorie source. It also has a prebiotic called inulin or chicory root, which helps turn on the healthy gut bugs in our body at a pre-stage, so before we start to eat or digest. So it really sets the stage for us eating the rest of our food. So Diana's like me, she loves the 6. We also have additional amino acids. So whether you're a growing child, you're a middle-aged person, or maybe you're a grandparent or a geriatric person, it's always great to have extra amino acids in our body. And we specifically put in very ketone-friendly amino acids in with the ketone body. So it's chocolate and it is dairy free. Max, I have a box of Max here. So Max is certified, and we look at what those certifications mean. You're also going to see those certifications at the bottom here that are clearly say that we're doctor approved. It tells us about our certification standards. We know that it is vegan certified. The salts are kosher certified. It is dairy free. It doesn't have any butyrate. It doesn't have any MCT oil. So give us a 7 if Max is your favorite. So it also has additional amino acids from a vegetarian source. It has taurine, which our body can actually increase protein synthesis and make additional ketone bodies from it. So again, Max is a blend of the beta hydroxybutyrate. It is a stronger ketone body, or the strongest, most bioavailable ketone body on the market. It is a Maui Punch flavor, which people really, really love that flavor. It has a little bit of erythritol for flavoring. Another question I get, and Mike says 7, he loves this one. What makes it red? It is the beet powder. That's also what gives us the carbohydrate when you're looking at the macros. No, the great thing is that all of them are available in caffeine, which is called charged, and non-caffeine, which is called uncharged. These little packets are OTG. People are like, what is OTG? On the go. So this is a great way to travel with them, have them at work, at the daytime. I know I've got 4 boys. They love to put it in their gym bag or sports bag before they work out. This is on the go. And know that I had a jug here. A can is called KAN. It is a jug. It is also 30 servings. So this is what a can is, 30 servings here. The 2.1 and 3.0 also come in a 30 serving box, and the Max comes in a 20 serving box. It does not come in a can or a tub, and I'm not 100% certain that the Canadians have it on a daily basis. I know they had it during our Friday flash sale, so I know a lot of people were super excited in Canada to have it, but give us a 7 if you love that. And Manny, I love that you're saying 5 and 7, because you can absolutely mix and match the ketones or the Keto OS. You can have Max one day in the morning, you can have the 3.0 in the afternoon. Maybe you're just not feeling the punch, you want the chocolate flavor, have a chocolate craving. 3.0 is great for you. Maybe you love the Max, that's the only one you love, and that's when you're going to continue to drink. Keep drinking that up. The last product that I have, is Keto Cream. Keto Cream does not have any ketone bodies. It has all the ingredients for your body to make ketone bodies. So this is a great way to start your morning. It's a great way to have a pick-me-up in the afternoon. Still not showing up super great there. It is a mix of MCT oil. It's a mix of coconut powder and a patent blend of Ceylon cinnamon. So again, the MCT oil and the coconut oil give you all the amazing benefits of giving your body the advantage to make ketone bodies from that. Actually helps give our body more energies. It's 15 grams of healthy saturated fats. You can mix it with coffee. You can mix it with coconut. For kids, if you want to mix it in like a coconut milkshake or an almond nut milkshake, or put a little peanut butter, almond butter, sun butter in there, and you could make some cookies out of it. There's a recipe on the Facebook page. But know that kids need healthy fats. Their bodies are growing. Our brains are at least 60% fat. So you're feeding the brain, you're feeding the body at a cellular level. So I love Keto Cream. Once or twice a day is great. You can mix with any of the Keto OSs, any of the Max. You can have, again, 1 or 2 servings. But know that if you're a person who's trying to lose body fat, know that you can take too many keto creams. I had someone tell me they were actually gaining weight, and I come to find out they're actually having 2 or 3 keto creams. They're putting a bunch of excess MCT into their Maui Punch flavor or their Max, and just end up being too many calories for their body to use. But know that Keto OS is totally safe for your body. I say womb to tomb because we know babies are in ketosis. We know it's safe for grandmas and grandpas. Every single cell in our body needs energy on a daily basis, so I do recommend Keto OS or Biomax every single day. Love the healthy fats that we get from Keto Cream. So again, if I didn't answer your question, I'm super, super sorry. Please send them into support at ProveItHQ.com. But first, check the Health Center, ProveItNow.com. Scroll all the way to the bottom, click on Help Center. Second tab over, the first one's about product. It gives you all the product breakdown, where the dairy comes. Everything that I said is found right there. And then the Help Center again tells us why it's safe for pregnancy and why it's safe for diabetics, why it's safe for your liver, and why it's safe if you have kidney stones and any other health condition you might be looking for. So if If you can't find it there, then send your question in. But again, thank you for having me here. I feel blessed every Wednesday that I can help you learn more about your journey towards optimal health or finding your own optimal state of health, or maybe you're really intrigued about helping others in your family and your friends and neighborhoods feel better. So have a great day. Drink your keto, and I will see you next Wednesday, 1 o'clock Central Standard Time. And don't forget, you can share this with your friends or family that might have missed this, that maybe have some similar questions we talked about today. Don't be afraid to share this. You can send it through Messenger. You can send it on your own wall and tag some people in it, so you can tell that we talked about the thyroid, we talked about hormones, we talked about inflammation, we talked about IBS, talked about a lot of stuff today. So great information coming to you today. Hope you found a lot of value. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week.